Hi Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your Venus retrograde reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously. I don't have a whole team behind me. It's just me. So if you do these things, it really helps get the video out, get this reading out to more people here on YouTube. It really helps with the algorithm. So thank you so very much for doing so. And if you are interested in a private reading, a private personalized meditation, a healing, or a gift card, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. It's listed in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. This cleanse and meditation will be accompanied by a loud sound. If you are sound sensitive, this is the time to mute the reading, let the healing energy wash over you, and unmute it when you see me pick up the singing bowl. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right, Gemini. So a heads up with Venus retrograde. It can make us annoyed with other people if you're sensitive, like I am, to the planetary movements, to retrogrades, to all these things. Then just know that you can get annoyed with people and you'll be like, wow, it's everybody. Everybody's annoying me. You know, it's them, not me. No, let's look at ourselves and calm and center ourselves, because it's going to be so important, or else we're just going to go through this whole entire time frustrated. So I just wanted to give you guys a bit of a heads up. Venus retrograde begins on March 1st, 2025, and it begins in Aries. So it makes us spicy. It does make us spicy. Angels and spirit guides. Ooh, justice. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Ooh, the Hierophant. The Four, oh, so interesting. The Four of Wands, the Nine of Wands, angels and spirit guides. Judgment, angels and spirit guides. The Sun, okay. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. The Ace of Swords, the Seven of Cups, angels and spirit guides. The Four of Swords, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. The Devil, angels and spirit guides. The Ace of Wands, angels and spirit guides. And the Three of Pentacles. So let me just see here. Okay, brilliant. I wanted to make sure you could see everything. Well, so it's really, really interesting in this reading, and what pops out instantaneously is that we have Justice, which represents Libra energy, and we have the Hierophant, which represents Taurus energy. Both Libra and Taurus are ruled by Venus. So the Venus energy has a huge impact on us. So being aware of that and understanding that is going to be important. Again, this retrograde lasts for 6 weeks, and it is a time that brings out the troubles, the heartbreaks, the tribulations that we have in our relationships, whether they're in our romantic relationships, whether they're in our personal relationships, work relationships, right? What's bothering us is going to be boiling to the surface, which can be really annoying, right? We want things to be calm, copacetic, everything's just fine. It's just fine. And a Venus retrograde doesn't let you just swish things under the rug. And if it does, it's a little mountain, right? You have to walk over. So it'll be cumbersome. So just being aware of that is going to be really, really important. So issues from existing relationships are going to come forward. We can have old flames come forward during a Venus retrograde. I keep on saying Mercury retrograde, and I do apologize for that. But here with this, and I see this as impacting, this Venus retrograde is impacting the way that we speak. So my head is going to Mercury because, it just is. And here for us, Gemini, we're ruled by Mercury. And so Venus retrograde is showing me us tripping over our words. And so that's when the energy is coming from. So just being aware of that and just knowing that it makes us doubt our words, the way that we want to move forward. There's something about commitment here. Now, okay, so here's the thing. This is for a very specific listener. And it might not resonate with you, and that's totally fine. You can totally fast forward through this. And if you want to stay for a little juicy bit of gossip, like that's great too. But right here, somebody who is listening, you've been left by a partner. Now, either you were divorced by them or you were about to get married and they left, okay? This person can be coming back right now. So just being aware of that, you might want to start a relationship again. You might not want to, but a Venus retrograde is for closure. And so knowing that this energy here, now you can be learning something about this person here that's like, oh my gosh, I thought it was this way. I thought this happened, or I did this, or whatever. And you're going to find out some juicy bit of information is going to come forward, or you're going to be thinking about something. And it's like, wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. That timeline doesn't add up. So being aware of that, Gemini, is going to be super important during this time, because you're coming out of a box you were put in. Somebody else put you in that box. You put yourself in that box because of the heartbreak and pain that you have been through. So that just needs to be acknowledged right off the bat. Now, for others, if you are in a relationship, you're tightening your bonds in this relationship, but just know that the next 6 weeks can be a little bit, they can be a little bit choppy. You can need your own space, your own way of expressing yourself, to really see what it is that you want and how it is that you want to move forward. This is a time where we can have breakups happen. They don't have to last for long, but there's a sense of a bit of a separation and then a coming together is very, very common in a Venus retrograde. So being aware of that too is going to be super important. Justice is Libra energy, September 23rd to October 22nd. This is things coming into balance. This is being just and fair with yourself, with what it is that you want, with, how it is that you view your relationships and how it is that you want to move forward. And this is stopping, kind of gaslighting yourself and saying, oh, I'm being ridiculous, I'm wanting too much. It's like, no, these are my standards. This is what I want. This is what I'm asking for in my relationships that I am in a relationship moving forward. If we are single, there we go. That word is hard for me. I don't know why. If we are single, so just being aware of this is going to be important here, because we have the Hierophant and we have the Four of Wands. This is the major arcana marriage card. This is the minor arcana marriage card. So there's something about deep commitments moving us forward. Now, it can be having a deep commitment to ourselves, saying, this is what I want, and being very upfront and very open and very honest with ourselves. This is what I want. And looking at life now, instead of saying, is the package, wrapped the way that I wanted the package to be wrapped, or is what's inside that matters? So that can be a big thing too, Gemini, because, we're human beings. We can get really caught up with the outside wrapping, and the inside, it's like one of those grab bags, right? And you put the really good gift wrapped in tinfoil, and it doesn't look like anything, but it's a really good one. And you put everything else wrapped really pretty. So here, that's what Spirit is saying. It's not saying that the person's going to be hideous or anything like that, but you know what I'm saying here. So with the Hierophant energy moving forward, this is Taurus energy, April 20th to May 20th. You have justice, things coming into balance, things being open, things needing to be more fair, more balanced, but also a balancing of your two energies, your sacred masculine, sacred feminine aspects of yourself, moving you forward. The Hierophant is looking at the traditions that are right for you, looking at the power, looking at the grace that you hold, looking at what is right for you and how you build your world around your core beliefs and what is sacred in your existence. With the Four of Wands, this is a celebration of joys, of moving forward. This can be new relationships. This can be a reaffirming of the bonds of relationships that we are in. This can be new job, new house, looking forward, but also looking forward in your life and saying, how do I want to move forward in my existence? What am I moving towards? What is it that I want? You're tired of always being on guard. The 9 of Wands is in relationships in general. You are tired of having to be like, okay, when are you going to drop the ball? When are things going to fall apart? And there can be this energy where it's almost better to be alone or to expect disappointment than to have the disappointment, sucker punch you, right? Surprise come up in your life. And so here, what Spirit is saying is embracing the humanity of it all, grounding yourself and centering yourself and saying, how do I need to move forward? Like looking at the different avenues of things, looking at the different way of things. But how do I need to move forward where I'm at the center of what I want? And that can sound really, really selfish. And that can also sound really confusing. What are you saying, Spirit, here? And what Spirit is saying is, instead of feeling like, okay, I always have to defend, I always have to be on guard, it's making really clear boundaries for ourselves. It's also listening to our soul and listening to what's important to us. A Venus retrograde brings up what the heart truly wants, what we want in love, what we want moving forward. And here we're coming out of a box we were put in. We could have been sold the happily ever after princess box, or prince box, or, whatever. And we're like, well, you know what? I don't want to be the princess. I don't want to be the prince. I want to be, I want to be the hero. I want to be the witch. I want to be, whatever. And it's letting ourselves embrace our own energy and what it is that we desire. And it's also being kind to ourselves if we're not fitting into a cookie cutter little box that we kind of thought we should be fitting into. So that's also really important in a Venus retrograde, is that we can really start to break out of a mold that we thought we were supposed to walk in. Like, that's what love was supposed to look like. It's supposed to be perfect. It's supposed to be flawless. It's supposed to be, whatever. And we're not that. We're human. And that brings us to the sun. That brings us to true happiness. And it brings us to these 2 very powerful gifts. Now we have the Ace of Swords. This is God's source spirit, however you see the divine in the universe, handing you a gift of your voice. Now this is very important for Gemini energy because we are Geminis. We're represented by the swords in the minor arcana. We are embracing our voice. We have this gift come forward. Do we know we're taking it? No, we don't. But we also know we're tired. We're tired of the nonsense. We're tired of the bull. We're tired of, of just feeling like we're chugging along, right? And not getting anywhere. And we start to come back to our dreams and we start to voice our dreams. But we also start to take care of ourselves. This is going to be really important with this Venus retrograde. Some of us will feel very, very, very tired. We will feel exhausted. I do not want the masquerade any longer. I need to honor my story. I need to honor me. And I need to move forward. And it brings us to the devil. It brings us to looking at the chaos of the world and, calling it out, claiming it, knowing that we cannot change it. The devil is the mirror image. Well, not the mirror image. It is like the reverse image of the lovers. We are represented by the lovers in the major arcana, that in the tarot deck, right, in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, has the 2 people standing before an angel. Here, in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, you have 2 people chained to a devil. And so it's very ominous. But the devil card is chaos. The devil card is also Capricorn energy, right? Time frame December 22nd to January 19th. When the devil comes in, when the chaos comes in, we can want to run from it, but we can also want to make the chaos beautiful. We can want to find the beauty, the harmony, the balance in the chaos. We are going to be looking for balance during this time, but also looking at the chaos in the world and saying, I can't change that, but I can move with it. I can learn how to dance. I can learn how to go with the beat, with the rhythm that is my existence, my soul, my life, and not try to put myself in a box, not try to conform me or contort me into what I think I should be. And this is going to be a time here where we start to embrace our fire. But remember also, Capricorn energy is ruled by Saturn. Saturn is all about structure, and we like structure. Okay, in a Venus retrograde, we're kind of going to hold on to structure, hold on to rules of things. And then we're going to get tired of it because we are Gemini energy and we don't like being told what to do. So being aware of that is going to be super important. If you're born on the cusp with Taurus, If you have Capricorn in your chart, if you have Libra in your chart, if you have Taurus in your chart, those elements are going to help to balance you, are going to help to ground you, right? But also, we have to know that the Gemini energy is going to come forward during a Venus retrograde. And it's like, what is my voice needing to say? And how am I needing to express myself? And it's going to be to release ourselves from chains, but also to look at our karmic path. Because again, Saturn connects with our karmic path. It's the rules and the structures of our existence and our being. And it brings us to the Ace of Wands, which is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing us a gift of passion, lighting the darkness. The passion comes forward and it's like, oh, I missed this. Like, I forgot this. And it brings us to the Three of Pentacles. This is going to be a time in a retrograde where we're working together. We're not in this all by ourselves. We're going to feel, yes, it can be more annoying working with other people, but we're going to feel more empowered. We're going to feel more emboldened. We're going to feel like we can bounce ideas off others, but we're also going to feel more connected when we are around other people and when we are, guided in this energy. So being aware of that during this Venus retrograde is going to be really, really, really important to us. Yeah. We can also feel like we're going through a dry spell because a Venus retrograde can be a time where we pull back from relationships and we say, I need to heal, right? I need to take time. I need to embrace me. I need to know what it is that I want. And I can't, I'm so tired of trying to be what everybody else wants me to be. And we come out of the box that we put ourselves in, or that the world put us in, and that we thought, oh, this is what, this is what we need to do if we are to thrive, if we are to succeed. So just being mindful about that during this time, being mindful of this Venus retrograde. Are we going to fall in love? Yeah, we have a really good chance of falling in love after the Venus retrograde, after we come into balance with ourselves and we're open and honest with what we want and with what's important to us. The energy that I see us really attracted to is going to be very grounding, very sensible energy. And the person might be really literal. So we do have a tendency, being air sign energy, to be very literal ourselves. Like, oh, okay, that's what you said. That's exactly what you meant. But this is going to be a person who's very grounded, successful. Yes. Maybe not like, billionaire successful, but that's okay. And is very grounded, very sensible, and can be a little bit too literal. Like we bring the fun and we will bring the laughter and the joy and they will be more than happy to go along with that. And if we are in a relationship, right, it's bringing the fun and the joy back into it. That's going to be really important, or emphasizing that love and that joy that's already in it and saying, okay, we need to make time for just having fun, for embracing laughter, because that's going to make us soar. That's going to build us up to really beautiful heights. Let's see what Spirit has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. So this is the Heron. It says, let go of convention and follow your own unique path. And that is what a Venus retrograde really wants us to do. And yet it is hard because, we think of Venus, we think of love, we think of conventional beauty, we think of conventional love, we think of, this is the way you're supposed to do it. These are the happily ever afters that we read about in fairy tales, the once upon a times. But what if we get to write our own story? Like, what if we look at things and say, what is it that I really want? And how is it that I want to move forward? Let's see what our chakra energy is. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh. So interesting. We have 3 that fell out. We have love, we have balance, and we have flexibility. The heart chakra, the root chakra, and the sacral chakra. So as you guys know, if you're part of this family, right, tapping your tailbone, tapping your kidneys are excellent for opening up and balancing the root chakra and the sacral chakra. That is going to be really important. Embracing what we love, embracing the heart. Okay, humming is really good for the vagus nerve, which also helps the heart chakra open up, and letting ourselves move forward in love and not be afraid of love. If we are afraid of love, because Gemini, our energy in astrology is young energy. So when we love openly, and like little kids love. And I know that sounds odd to say, but it's like we love full-heartedly, and we don't expect people to be mean or hurtful or hateful. And when we experience that, it's kind of like when a child experiences somebody being mean to them, and it's like, well, why are you mean? Like, what's going on here? Type of thing. We can get very confused. And then we can be like, we can shut ourselves down to love bit by bit. because it's like, whoa, what are these games that are going on? I don't like them. And so we stay up to a certain point and then we can leave. Or we can kind of like check out even mentally in things, because it's like, this is getting, this is getting boring, or the person's getting nasty, and I'm just not dealing with this anymore. So to open up our hearts and to say, this is what I want from love is brave. It is brave for us. It is brave for everyone, but it is very brave for a Gemini to step into that energy and to balance the two sides of us. To say, there's a duality to me, there's a complexity to me. And I need to be flexible in the way that I express myself, in the way that I embrace love, in what I say I want from love. And that is a big deal. And it's going to be a big deal during this retrograde. It moves us then to the energy to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. So this is the Lady and the Ace of Wands. Interesting. So the Lady is the Empress. It's very strong, sacred feminine energy. This can be really fighting against traditional roles and a traditional way to see yourself. It's also needing to come to terms with your own creative energy and how you want to birth that forward into the world, right? We can be looking at love and saying, but this is what it is. This is what it's supposed to be, even if it's back in our subconscious mind. And here, we have to be mindful of our fire and our passion, and not having so much, illuminated to us where it's like, oh, it's everything, right? Because we can get really excited and, go after all our passions, all our desires. The flashlight needs to hone in on one thing, right? Illuminate one thing, and then another as we move forward. This can also be somebody who told us our role will be XYZ. And we didn't know that we were spending our life kind of rebelling against that, or, even kind of secretly fighting against that inwardly. So just be mindful about this, because it's somebody who tried to put you in a box, and Gemini does not like to be put into a box at all. So an acknowledgement of this. It can also be, sacred feminine energy that was immature, that was not sacred, that was not developed in a person, that hurt you, that pulled you down, that, made you doubt yourself. And stepping into the role of the sacred feminine, it's like, but I don't want to be them. And even if we don't realize that, it's in the back of our mind. So being aware of this, becoming aware of this, is going to be really important. Our subconscious spirit message is the Osprey. And it says, your success is now at hand. Allow the abundance to flow to you effortlessly. It's time to call in what is rightfully ours. It's time to see ourselves as worthy. Because so often, Gemini, we're like, well, we just have to learn a bit more. I'm just a little bit more curious. I have to know more. I have to dive deeper. No, it's saying, you know what? I open the doors now. And I embrace love and passion and power. And the power of my heart is unbelievable. The power of a Gemini heart is really quite exquisite. It moves us then to the heart chakra again, which is forgiveness. It's not forgiving everybody else. It's not being magnanimous and, oh, I forgive. It is forgiving ourselves for not living up to expectations of ourselves that others had for us. It is releasing, the shouldas, the couldas, the wouldas, and saying, but this is who I am. And it brings us then to the energy to be mindful of. And this is the Five of Swords. We're going to face, during this Venus retrograde, which is very common in a Venus retrograde, we are going to face things that we have faced before. But we're coming to this energy as a completely different person. And this is a time where we claim our power, we heal, and we move forward. But it'll be very, very easy to fall into old habits. Why? Because, it just feels comfortable. It just feels comfortable. But we don't want those old habits anymore. And then it is the Lovers. Subconsciously, we are embracing the very essence of ourselves. We're coming into balance. The Devil energy is us a bit out of alignment during the 6 weeks. And I know that sounds bad to say, oh, we're out of alignment for 6 weeks. We are gaining our footing again, and we are facing chaos. And subconsciously, we are letting love guide us. And we are opening the door to our love, and to our passion, and to our insight, and to our understanding. And that love changes us. But we are also embracing the power, the duality, the compassion, the blessing that is us. And we're changing the game. We're changing how we see ourselves playing this game of life. And we're stepping into our power with tenacity and beauty and brilliance. And it's no longer that we're hiding ourselves or trying to make ourselves into what we think people want us to be. We are now opening the door and saying, this is who I am. Love it? Great. Don't love it? Let's move on. All right, Gemini. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this retrograde and all the insight it brings us, and of coming out of this retrograde so much more knowledgeable and fiercer and more content within ourselves. Again, if you are sound sensitive, this is the time to mute the reading and let the energy, the healing energy, wash over you. If you're not, let's take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Gemini. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. Have a blessed Venus retrograde. Bye.